Hey everyone, welcome back, or welcome if you're new. My name is Tonya and today we're going to be choosing my April TBR. So this is one of my favorite videos to make each month. I love getting to match the prompts up with the different books I have on my TBR and kind of set, some sort of plan for my reading for the month. So always a favorite of mine. I hope you enjoy these videos also. And if you are new here, how this works is I have my little TBR jar here, or my TBR container. It's not really a jar, but I like the brass color, so this is what I use. But I have a bunch of prompts in there. I pick 5 prompts out of here to, match up to different books that I have on my physical TBR, NetGalley ARCs, or on my Kindle. And then I use a spinner wheel to pick one book off of my 26 books that I want to read in 2026. So that's kind of how this is all going to go down today. So grab yourself a drink, sit back, get cozy, and let's pick out some books. All right, so let's pick out the first prompt, see what we get here. It's 2 stuck together, which happens a lot. All right, so for our first prompt, we got pick a NetGalley ARC. So let me see what I have on NetGalley. I know I have a lot that are coming out later in the summer or in the fall, but I'm pretty sure I have one that's coming out in April also. So let's take a quick look, and I do. So we have The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer, and I think that'll be perfect for this prompt. That way I can read it in the month it's coming out and then let you guys know what I think about it. And here's a little bit of the blurb. Rainy March is a proud third-generation book witch, sworn to defend works of fiction from all foes, real and imaginary. With her magical umbrella and a feline familiar, she jumps in and out of novels to fix malicious alterations and rogue heroes like a modern-day magical Nancy Drew. Book witches live by a strict code. Real people belong in the real world. Fictional characters belong in works of fiction. Do not eat, drink, or sleep inside a fictional world, lest you become part of the story. Falling in love with a fictional character? Don't even think about it. So definitely sounds really cute. This would be a cozy fantasy. And I like the fact that, these book witches are protecting our stories from, harm and wrongdoing. So I think it'll be a really cute read, and I'll definitely let you know my thoughts on it once I do read it. But yeah, that's what we're going to go with for our first pick for April. All right, so now we're going to move on to pick number 2. And we got continue a series. So one option would be I could pick the second book in the Mistborn saga for this prompt. Now, I had it on my TBR for March, and that was the one book I didn't make it to. So this would give me a chance to put it on my TBR for April. Or I could also do The Hemlock Queen. This is the second book in the Nightshade Crown. I read the first book this month, and I really enjoyed it, so I do want to get to the second book. Then I think most of the other ones that I have on my actual physical TBR would be new books in a series, so wouldn't fit the prompt. So, do I want a romantasy, or do I want to go with the epic fantasy, which would be the second book in the Mistborn saga? I think I'm going to go with the Mistborn saga again. I'll make sure I actually prioritize it since I didn't make it to it last month. I don't like to put one continuously on my TBR and then just keep missing it. And I also think the Mistborn saga is a little more complex as far as the number of characters and the magic system. I read the first book in January or February. No, I read the first book in February, so it'll be good to get to the second book before it's been too long since I read the first book. So, second prompt, the Mistborn saga, book 2. I think that one's the Well of Ascension, but I could be wrong about that. So we'll just go with Mistborn, book number 2. All right, so for prompt number 3, let's see what we get. A book inspired by an element. And I feel like this could have two different ways we could go. One would be the magic system has to be elemental in nature, or it could just be that an element, fire, earth, water, air, features prominently in the book. So the good thing is, since it's my channel and I make the rules, I get to decide what interpretation we do. And I think we're gonna go with the element being featured prominently in the book, because I don't know that I actually have any where the magic system is elemental. So let's take a quick look. All right, so it's kind of hard to know if something's featured heavily in the book without, being familiar and reading the book. But what I do have that I think would fit that prompt, and it's one I've been wanting to get to for a while, and that is The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. And this one takes place on the water, so it definitely has an element featured in it. And I love L.J. Andrews' writing. She does banter so well between the male and female main characters. That's one of my favorite things about her books, so I've been looking forward to reading this one. Also, it's kind of supposed to be like swashbuckling, so Pirates of the Caribbean-esque, and I love that as well. Just a little bit of the blurb if you're not familiar with the book. They stole his crown, so he stole their daughter. For years, Eric, the scarred king of the Ever Kingdom, has thought of nothing but vengeance against the man who killed his father and trapped him beneath the waves, making him a prisoner in his own realm. Until his enemy's daughter unintentionally breaks the chains on the Ever, and Eric makes her the unwitting pawn in his vicious game of revenge. She's innocent, he's vicious, but he will take back what he lost no matter the price, unless she steals his heart first. So, sounds right up my alley. Looking forward to this one for a while. I think it might be on my 26 books for 2026, but I can't remember. If it is, good to make progress there also. This is what we're going with for prompt number 3. All right, let's move on to our 4th prompt. A fantasy standalone book. And let me pick out a few different options here. All right, so I do have a few different things picked out. The first one is Violet Thistlewhite is not a villain anymore. And this one is a cozy fantasy. I already have the Book Witch, so I don't know that I want a second cozy fantasy. I'm not a huge cozy fantasy reader. I just like them on occasion. Then I have Wild Reverence by Rebecca Ross, and this is one I've been wanting to get to. She has a duology in this same world, but this one I believe is a standalone where we're following a goddess who falls in love with a mortal. Then I have R.F. Kuang and Catabasis. I'm not sure how you say it. I'm going to go with Catabasis. I haven't read any other R.F. Kuang books, so this would be dipping my toes into her writing. I also have a Dark Forgetting by Kristen Ciccarelli. She wrote the Crimson Moth series, and I believe this one is a previous work of hers that got picked up for traditional publishing. So I do enjoy her writing, so that could be a good option as well. I know on my Kindle I have 2 M.L. Wong books. I have Blood Over Brighthaven that I could choose, and I have The Sword of Kaigan by M.L. Wong, which is also one I've really been wanting to get to. So I guess it's just deciding what I'm in the mood for right now. So far genre-wise, we have an epic fantasy, a cozy fantasy, and a romantasy. So I don't have a ton of one fantasy kind of subgenre over, another. So, what am I in the mood for? So I think I'm actually going to go with A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Ciccarelli. Now, this seems like it has some gothic vibes, and that's something I do really enjoy in a book. I'll read you a little bit of the blurb off the back. No matter how far she runs, the forest always comes for Emmeline Lark, haunting her with its mysterious disappearances and its tales of fey magic. When her grandfather goes missing, Emmeline is forced to venture into the woods to save him. There, Hawthorne Fell, a handsome and brooding typh collector, brutally tries to dissuade her from searching, even as a magnetic spark ignites between them. Undeterred, Emmeline enters the court of the fabled Wood King and makes a deal, her voice for her grandfather's freedom. Little does she know she stumbled into a curse that threatens the very existence of this eerie world where she's now trapped. To survive, she'll need to team up with the fiery yet secretive Hawthorne. If she fails, she'll lose everything she holds dear. So, definitely sounds like it could be a good one. It's not too long either. I do have, the second book in the Mistborn saga on my TBR already, which will be a longer one. So, it'll be nice to have a little bit shorter read as well. So yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with for pick number 4. Not going to lie, I was on the struggle bus to get those to fit back on my TBR, but I'll cut that out so you don't have to watch me try to push books on there. But yeah, so now we're on to prompt number 5. Let's see what we get for this one. So far it looks like a good reading month, but I assume every month is going to be a good reading month. So let's see. Ooh, always a favorite. Free pick. Who doesn't like a free pick? So I think for this one, we are going to go with Red Rising by Pierce Brown because I want to know what all the fuss is about. I definitely have FOMO and feel like I've been missing out on this series. I've been seeing tons of people read it. It is a science fiction book, and I heard that some people struggle with the first book, but the series gets better and better as it goes along. I just finished Project Hail Mary last month, so kind of in a science fiction kind of mood, just tiptoeing into it. I don't read a ton of science fiction, but I do like to read it on occasion. So yeah, I think this is what I'm going to go with for my free pick. I don't know a ton about this book other than the fact it is science fiction, and I believe the people in this world are broken up by different colors, and red is supposed to be like the lowest class. So I'm sure there's going to be, struggles from oppression and, taking down those above you kind of feel to this book. I always enjoy those themes, so I think this could be a good book. So excited to jump on the bandwagon and read this one. Okay, so that finishes out my regular TBR picks. So now we're going to go ahead and do the spinner wheel to pick a book from my 26 books to read in 2026. Now there are some new releases on this book, so if I get one of those, which I may, it seems to happen, then I'll just respin. So here we go. Drum roll, please. So, as I said, tends to happen, I got the Ballad of Fallen Dragons, and that one actually comes out in May, so I won't be able to use it for April, so we'll spin again. Ooh, and for this one, I got The Night Prince, which is the second book in the Wolf King series. Super excited for this. The Wolf King was a 5-star read for me. I really enjoyed it. It's a romantasy series that recently got picked up for traditional publishing. I believe there's going to be 3 books in the series. And the book features wolf shifters, and there is a love triangle in it, which I'm not typically a fan of love triangles. But for this one, I'm totally on Team Blake. If you've read The Wolf Prince, you know Blake is absolutely the best. And so I've really been looking forward to picking up the second book. This book, basically what you need to know about it is it's wolf shifters, it's love triangle, and it's got kind of a Scottish Highlander, Outlander kind of feel to it. So definitely excited to pick up The Night Prince. I'm not really sure when the third book in the series comes out, but I'm sure when it does, I'll be picking that one up too. So that is all our prompts for April, and now let's do a little recap. So for our book off of our 26 books to read in 2026, we have The Night Prince by Lauren Pelfreyman. Then for my free pick, we are doing Red Rising by Pierce Brown. For a standalone fantasy book, we're doing A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Ciccarelli. For a NetGalley arc, we're doing The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. For a book inspired by an element, we are doing The Ever King by L.J. Andrews. And for continuing a series, we're doing The Well of Ascension, which is the second book in the Mistborn saga by Brandon Sanderson. So really excited for these picks for April. Like I said, I think it's going to be a great month of reading. So that's going to be it for this video. I'm really excited to read all these books in April and then let you know my thoughts on them. What book are you most looking forward to reading in the month of April? Definitely let me know down below in the comments. Take care, keep reading, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.